Hello, Internet! I'm Nick.
And I'm Scott.
And this is episode 412 of F5 Live, refreshing technology. Proudly powered by the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here.
This week, Apple might be crossing over to new platforms. Hulu goes commercial free. And Machinima pays the price for Xbox ads.
All of that and more, of course, found on our show, episode 412 of F5 Live, over on f5live.tv. That's our full show, our hour-long show in both audio and video format. This right here, small tease, just a little bit tease. Facebook, YouTube, wherever else you may be sharing and watching this, thank you. We hope you'll make your way over to our show on our website or on the myriad, cornucopia of apps that are available to you like iTunes, Stitcher, Livestream, etc. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at PlugHitsLive and drop us a like on Facebook. We appreciate it. So we'll talk a little bit about what we talked about on our show this evening, and starting with Apple putting on the Ritz, a little bit of multi-platform action going on.
Yeah, they're possibly looking for some new dance partners.
I'll tango. A little salsa.
Anybody who's followed Apple for any length of time knows that kind of the only software that they've ever written that's been available on not an Apple device has been iTunes/QuickTime, and Safari for a very short period of time was available on Windows and is no longer. And that's really their only interaction with the outside world. They've always been very
Elitist? Closed.
Elitist. It's more how they do their marketing. Yeah, I would say xenophobic. They're a little afraid of not them. They're afraid of things that aren't within their control, and other platforms are that. So they've stayed very close to home, but some things are changing. Their September 9th product announcement will be available for stream on Edge, which is Microsoft's new browser. Nowhere else, just Apple products and Edge. You cannot have a Windows computer and see it on IE or Firefox or Chrome. Has to be Edge.
Not Netscape. Opera.
Certainly not Opera. So that's certainly an interesting change for them. Even if it were entirely on Microsoft's side, the fact that they are advertising that you can watch it on Edge is a very big change for them. Do I think they're going to go back to the days of Mac clones? No, of course I don't. I think Mac OS is going to be restricted to their hardware, but I do think that they are giving up on the idea that hardware is anything other than a commodity, which for them it has not been until like the last 18 months or so, where they have seen their hardware become commoditized, and like everybody else's has been for years, their hardware has become a commodity, and they have to change, and I think they are.
Now, you mentioned hardware. New hardware is right around the corner. It's available right now. Skylake technology. Yes. So excited from a production standpoint on what Skylake can do, but for more on what Skylake is and how it will affect you, we of course turn to Avram Piltch from Laptop Mag and Tom's Guide to tell us a little bit more about what's coming from Intel.
Intel's new Skylake processor platform promises a number of benefits, including longer battery life, built-in 4K hardware decoding, and the ability to overclock your laptop. On this week's Piltch Point, find out more about Skylake and the new generation of laptops it makes possible.
So I want one like yesterday.
Yeah, and if you're one of those Mac users, you only have to wait probably 2 years.
That's not that bad.
Before they do a refresh on their hardware and bring this generation of processor.
So excited about Skylake for sure.
And the fact that for the first time it's going to be across the platform.
Yeah.
It's not just on the Core I, it's going to be on the Core M, Pentium, and Celeron. That's a huge deal. All the benefits are moving everywhere.
In gaming news, moving slightly to the side, some Xbox One content wasn't necessarily disclosed that it was being paid for, and Machinima is under fire by the FTC.
Yeah, they either forgot or actively discouraged having all of their paid content disclosed. This is paid content. That's all you have to do, something like that. But they spent a tremendous amount of money. They paid a tremendous amount of money.
Yes.
And did not have any of their content producers disclose that they had been paid for their content. The FTC has said that they are no longer allowed to run campaigns like this, which, of course, is a problem because that's their business model.
That's how they make the money.
So that will either put Machinima out of business Wednesday, or they will work out a deal for further oversight. We'll see.
We will see.
The FTC is not necessarily known for agreements.
True. A little bit shady on the side of Machinima as well.
Yes, they probably should have owned a .zip website.
.zip, you say?
.zip,
I know
say.
that as a file.
Yes, and so does your computer, and that's part of the problem. Blue Coat, the company who probably prohibits you from going to Facebook at work, released a study in several parts, but this week we got to see kind of a bulleted list of some of the shadiest top-level domains on the internet. If you don't know what a top-level domain is, it's the last part of your website. So .com, .net, .org, .gov, .edu, those are your more common ones, but there's .tv, which...
where you can subscribe to our website at f5live.tv.
There's .fm, that's also a popular one. .io has become popular in the last 12 months or so,
a little bit.
Particularly in the developer community. But there's a whole lot more, and they released the list of the shadiest, with .zip being at the top and .church being at the bottom.
So you can check out our whole show to find out who else made that list and what it means for you.
And why.
And why.
We talked about why.
That's important.
Because .zip is kind of a funny story.
In media news, however, something we long expected is finally coming to fruition.
More importantly, long wanted.
Yes, Hulu going ad-free for 99% of their content.
Yeah, that's
right, 99%?
Pretty accurate statistic. 7 shows will not go on no commercial, but they will be incredibly limited. There are now several ways you can interact with Hulu for free, just on the web, for a limited amount of content. The plan that we have known as Hulu Plus for years is now called Limited Commercials and continues to live at $7.99 for an additional $4. So for $11.99, you can get no commercials except for 7 shows. And then for the $7.99, you can add Showtime. Now, those 7 programs are listed on our site. They're in our show. They will only have a 15-second pre and a 30-second post-roll. There will be no mid-roll ads, as there have been, or will be on the traditional plan. But there still will be a pre and a post, but a total of 45 seconds as opposed to the 2 or 3 minutes worth of commercials that you interact with on a normal episode. So huge change. And of course, Hulu says that those shows, that list could change. They do not say whether that change is up or down. Hopefully just down.
Hopefully just down. All of that and more over on our website, on our show, audio and video format, f5live.tv. Go subscribe. iTunes, Zune, that's a thing still, and we're popular over there. And all the myriad of websites that have our content. If you have a website or an app that doesn't have ours and you want it, shoot this guy a message. This guy, Scott, he has the ways to make it happen. So we thank you for checking out the teas. We hope you liked the taste, and if you did, hey, First Hit's always free. Go check out the website and subscribe to our show. We hope you'll join us for our full-length content every week, every Sunday, over on our website. That's f5live.tv. So on behalf of the staff that's not here, I'm Nick.
And I'm Scott.
And we'll see you there.
Ciao.